Hello there, welcome to Bryan Lomax Movie Talk and my review for The Collector. Yes, this is a film directed by Marcus Dunstan, who had a hand in Saw's, 4 to 7, was it? 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, 4 to 7. Saw not being one of my favourite franchises, must say. I'm not into the whole torture porn thing. One of the reasons I stayed away from this film for so long, to be honest. But yeah, my friend Cody Leach banging on about this quite a while, saying that I should see it. Don't let the whole Saw thing put me off. I was like, okay, and it still stayed away. But 31 on 31 is approaching, and yes, we decided that this series of films, only 2 for now, soon to become 3, will be part of the 31 on 31. So had no choice but to get around to watching it. It definitely has that Saw vibe. You can see that this is from the dude who wrote those Saw films. But I'll say this, it is much better than those Saw films. Yes, definitely. The reason for that, the primary reason for that actually, is character. So we get this guy played by Josh Stewart, who is kind of doing renovation work on this home for this rich family, and he wants to go in there and steal something to make money to basically give to his own family. It looks like he's struggling with his wife. He's got problems there. He's probably not making the money that he should be, and it's causing some tension. And it looks like they've split. I don't know, can't tell. But yeah. Either way, they're on rocky ground and he needs to get money fast to help pay her debt off. So she's in debt, but presumably from the relationship you can assume the only reason she's in debt is because he's not paid his way and she's struggling. So there's a lot of stuff going there. He's a flawed character, clearly not an on-the-level human being, because he wouldn't be contemplating robbing someone's house for a start. But he goes on a journey in the film, and through that journey we grow to like the guy, we grow to trust the guy, we grow to see that he's got a redemptive side, so he gets trapped in this house. So when he goes to rob it, this dude called the Collector, of the title, he's booby-trapped it all to hell, and that's when the whole Saw element comes in. It does feel very much like a Saw film from that point on, in that there's all these different traps that he's got to navigate. They're quite disgusting. They're very bodily horror orientated. So if you really don't like that kind of stuff, this probably ain't going to be the film for you. But as I say, because of this character and the journey he goes on, and because Josh Stewart really brings a likeable sensibility to him, it really balances the bad stuff about this character with the more redeeming qualities pretty well. Then you're drawn in and you want this guy to survive. You want him to get out, and you want him to achieve what he sets out to do, which is primarily saving this girl that's inside the house, so the daughter of the family. The family was supposed to have gone away, but clearly they didn't get away because this guy has gone in and kept hold of them and booby-trapped their house. So that's it really. It's primarily that character that really separates this film from the likes of Saw, in which you get a bunch of characters that no one really likes. They're not likeable at all, because that's why Jigsaw himself puts them in those traps, and then they never redeem themselves, because if they did, they would get out of those traps, because they would do the thing that Jigsaw intends for them to do in order for them to get redemption, but they don't. They always kind of screw each other over, and you're left thinking, ugh, humanity sucks, and that's it. Film ends. Here, as I say, you have that element, but you've got the redemptive quality. You've got the fact that this dude turns things around and tries to do the right thing by the end of the film, and because of that, you really like his character. It's clearly a film on a very low budget, and that does show in places. There are some periphery characters, particularly 2 at the beginning of the film, one of which comes back into it later on. He's kind of trapped in a box. But these two characters, basically the opening scene, I was worried actually with the opening scene because the way it's shot, the way it feels, it just, yeah, it has that real low quality, straight to DVD, shot by students just out of film school vibe about it. And I was a bit like, Cody, why did you recommend this to me? But it picks up in every sense of the word after that. Yeah, like I say, the performances from those two people felt very, yeah, film school-esque, and I was just scratching my head. Once we get that opening scene out of the way and we're introduced to this character played by Josh Stewart and the concept starts to really kick in, the intrigue builds, the love for this character builds, and again the visual aesthetic definitely improves, and Dunstan proves that actually he's quite an efficient director given his resources. Like I said, this is not in any way a big budget film. I think even the lowest budget Saw film probably had a better budget than this. I don't know. I know that first Saw film was done pretty much on the cheap, but anyway, Dunstan does prove that he's more than capable of handling himself as a director given his resources or the lack thereof. Again, I will just reiterate as well, I'm not into the torture porn stuff, and if it wasn't for the fact that they do such a good job of pulling me into this character, there's a lot here that I'd not really care for. Some really, disgusting stuff involving, removal of flesh and things. It's icky. If you like that kind of thing, then you're going to get a lot out of this film, I guess. But I think because we have a character we care for rather than a bunch of nobodies that we don't, I can kind of tolerate it a lot more. And it does create a genuine sense of tension in that regard, because you don't know who's going to get out alive in this thing. You don't know who Dunstan's going to allow to survive. So yeah, there is that tension always that maybe Stewart isn't going to get out of this. Maybe this isn't going to have a happy ending. So yeah, nice use of the bodily horror, I guess. I actually quite like the score to this as well. It ain't the kind of score that I'm going to throw on in the car and listen to, because it's not that kind of score. It's not like a Junkie XL thumping kind of, but it really suits the film, and there are little moments, little cues, music cues that kind of, that I'm aware of, I guess, and it just suits the style of the film. The composer does a good job. The collector himself is quite a terrifying concept. The fact that somebody this sick, this deranged could be out there, and also this intelligent, because it does require a certain level of intelligence to come up with a lot of the traps that he comes up with, which is one of my nitpicks, I guess, about it, because this guy has clearly done a lot of work in this house, and from what I can gather, Stewart hasn't been away from it for that long. He seems to, he has a couple of conversations with people, and then he's back at the house that night to do some stuff. So yeah, this dude works fast, let's just say that. But yeah, he is scary. I will say he's not overly threatening in this film. I have seen the second one as well. I will be reviewing the second one. But one of the things I had this conversation actually with Cody afterwards through Facebook, is that I didn't find him physically threatening in this, and I didn't think he was that big. Like if you watch this film and then you watch the second one straight after, to me at any rate, Cody didn't feel this way. So maybe it's just me, I don't know, maybe I need to go back and watch it. But particularly during the fights, there's a fight scene in this between Stewart and the collector, and I was kind of like, that collector dude, he's not that big, to be honest. In fact, he looks fairly weedy, and I don't quite understand why Stewart can't take him a bit more easily in a fight. So yeah, there is that element that, while the concept of the collector here is quite scary, quite terrifying, the dude himself is not that imposing. Whereas in the second film, I do feel like he is. They did change the actor, of course, but he does look like more of a physical threat. I don't know if that's just me who noticed that or felt that. If you felt the same way, please do let me know in the comment section, because, yeah, apparently Cody didn't. But there you go. Yeah, beyond that, it's just a damn good low budget horror film that I was expecting nothing from whatsoever, but rewarded me with, yeah, a character that I will quite happily follow again in other films. You know, for anyone who's seen it, you know Stewart comes back for the second one, and yeah, there's a third one on the way, and his name is in the credits. So it's not a spoiler. It's, you know, it's out there for the world to see. So I enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting to, and I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. Like I say, I would much rather watch this again than any of the Saw films, including that first Saw film, which a lot of people say, you know, that's really great, James Wan, yeah, whatever. But yeah, 3.5 out of 5 from me. But what about you? Have you seen The Collector? What did you think about it? Leave your thoughts below, let me know, and until next time, crack it.